Yeah, you can start. Okay, we're good, thank you.
Okay, tell me when.
Again.
Okay, so my name is Autumn Chase. I am a senior here at Pembroke Academy. I'm going to talk to you guys about the Jesse Lewis Choose Love movement.
Good morning, Pembroke Academy.
After
Would
the
you please rise and face your flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, resume. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so who brought this program to you? I brought this program to you based on Mr. Famulari. He knew that I went to the presentation back in May here in the auditorium, and he knew how gung-ho I was about this whole movement. So he appointed me to start spreading the word throughout the building, and I'm doing so with pride. I know Shannon Deslitz, who was hired back in August as our Choose Love program coordinator for New Hampshire, hired by Governor Sununu. And then Elizabeth Gott, she can't be here today because she's doing other things, but she actually has a collaboration with Choose Love with her organization, Girl Up, which helps change the world. Next slide, please. The most important person of this entire journey in this whole movement is Jesse Lewis, okay? His last act of courage inspired everything that you'll see here in a minute. He said run, and he saved 9 lives at the Sandy Hook school shooting. Next slide. So the Choose Love symbol and message, okay? So the little rubber duck, Jesse loved 2 things while he was alive at the family's farmhouse. He loved those little army men and those little rubber ducks. But since the army men aren't as peaceful as the rubber ducks, and we're bringing this program to schools, we opted for the duck. So nurturing, healing, love. This was one of the last messages that he wrote on the family chalkboard before he died. They only found this out after he had passed, and they were going back to the house to retrieve clothes for his funeral. Have a lot of fun was a message that he wrote for his older brother, because Jesse was this person who was very outgoing, but his older brother, JT, was not outgoing. He was very shy and very closed off. So this last message that he wrote really was like an, you're gonna be okay, big brother, kind of deal. Next slide. So why should you all choose love? How about one of you guys? What's a good reason why you guys should choose love? Anybody? What about you? What's the one reason why you'd like to think more positively instead of negatively?
To live a better life.
Exactly. Did you guys know that jobs these days are actually looking for these social emotional learning skills for their new jobs? Because imagine this, you're in a job and you work a desk and you're taking phone calls and stuff. What's one thing that jobs are going to be looking for? People skills. This is all teaching you guys people skills. So when you apply for a job, write in your resume, I was educated in social emotional learning. IQs are important, but people skills get you very far. So did you guys know that there's an at-home version of this program?
No.
And all of this is free. Your advisor teacher, if he chooses, he can download this program for you and your parents as well, and you guys can go through each one of the lessons. There's a formula: courage, gratitude, forgiveness, and compassionate action. Each one of those formula components has a set of 7 or 8 lessons to help you go along with the formula. The end goal is to cultivate a safer school environment, and also to cultivate a safer world, because this extends beyond high school. Right now, the program's K through 12, but this goes beyond schooling. This is life, okay? If you're a jerky person in life, no one's gonna wanna talk to you. So a little food for thought. So what are some ways that you guys have been thinking negatively? What's one way you can change that negative thought into a positive thought? What about you over there with the glasses? What's one way that thinking more positively can help you over a negative thought? You'll be happy. Yeah, you will be. And what's happiness lead to? Does anyone know?
Money.
Not necessarily. I was thinking better health, because when you're happy, scientists have proven that when you live a happy life, you live longer. So that's one thing. Also, happy people don't get sick as often. So if you really take this program to heart and you encourage your other peers, imagine what would happen within our building. You would see less bullying. I saw a post this morning about a student that remains anonymous saying his experience at PA has been awful because he's been bullied so much. Kids that want to love each other and help one another don't want to harm one another. And that was evident at the Sandy Hook school shooting. Because Adam Lanza, he was a student there, but since he felt so discouraged and unloved, he felt the need to go back to his mother's school, because she worked there, and shoot up a class of first graders. So I hope that by bringing this program to you in this school and extending it to other schools, because I've talked to sending schools as well, that a tragedy like that will never happen ever again. Next slide. So here's a quote from the school newspaper, The Spartan Speaks, from Shannon Desolate. She said, "A Spartan is courageous, a Spartan is a leader, and a Spartan protects." And she said that we all now have the chance to be leaders for the rest of the state, which is very true. It takes small changes to lead to big changes. Next slide, please. Here's a funny slide with our founder of Choose Love, Scarlett Lewis. She was Jesse's mom. She was the one that took her negative thoughts and anger, and she made it into something positive. And at the funeral, she ended off by telling everyone that attended, have the courage to change one angry thought into a positive, loving thought. Because if we can all do that, we can rewire our brains and make us all better human beings. Next slide. We might have time to start off that first video. It's Scarlett talking a little bit about the program herself so you can get a better handle on it.
Kids bully each other because they want to off-put their pain onto someone else, and they want to have a sense of control. What happens when you feel out of control? You get angry. Why do kids do drugs? Because they want to reduce their anxiety. They want to feel good. They want to get high. They want to belong. Why do kids join gangs? They want that sense of belonging. They're ultimately looking for love. You know, we have a negative bias in our society. We focus on the negative, and we see a lot of that programming in our schools. And what happens when you focus on the negative? It grows. We're constantly scanning for danger. Our thoughts create our perception of our reality. And as Wayne Dyer says, loving people live in a loving world, fearful people live in a fearful world. It's the same world. I think it's easy to go down a fearful path, but that is not a productive path. There's really only two kinds of people. There are good people and good people in pain. And that's a really hopeful statement, because we can all do something to help ease another's pain. Because we're all the same in the want and need to love and be loved. We look at each other and we see perceived differences, but in actuality, we are all exactly the same. We need love. We want to belong. And we want to feel good. We want to be happy. We're all the same in those things. So even though you can't always choose what happens to you, you can always choose how you respond, and you can always respond in love. Social emotional learning is really the #1 way to cultivate a safe school environment, because you're cultivating the safety from inside a child out. Protocols, external safety measures, those are important, but it's only social emotional learning that's going to do that, because kids that can have healthy and positive relationships that have deep and meaningful connections with one another, that are resilient and can manage their emotions. In other words, kids that choose love and love one another, they are not going to want to harm one another. We have the solution within us. It's just cultivating the skills and tools that we need. Social emotional learning is not innate. These skills and tools are not something that we're born with. We have to learn them. But the great news is they're easy to teach and easy to learn. Go to your schools. Ask if you have a social emotional learning program. If you do, how's it working out? Great. If you don't, we have a free, comprehensive, pre-K through 12th grade social and emotional learning program that teaches kids how to choose love in any situation. Love is the only thing that can transcend what is going on here now, and we all have the ability to choose love, and that honestly is what is going to be the ultimate solution.
Thank you, Scarlett. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about experiences that I've had in my own advisory. I teach Choose Love in my own advisory once a week. I'm in Ms. Berger's advisory. So far, we've had pretty good success with teaching the program. We're on forgiveness unit right now.
Joining us on what must be an exceptionally difficult day.
We're in our forgiveness unit right now, and one thing that I found very touching was this video that we watched. It was these people that were just looking in the mirror at themselves and saying what they truly believe about themselves. And 99% of the people that did this, all their thoughts regarding themselves were negative. And at times, I find myself doing the same exact thing, not talking in a mirror, but just in general. Like, I take a test, and I don't do good on the test. I'm like, wow, I'm so stupid. But in actuality, that's not the case, because you can change the test grade. You can change all these things that make you think so negatively about yourself. And by going and rewiring myself in that way, saying, oh, I'm not being very positive right now, it's made me much happier. I used to, I'll be honest, back in middle school, I used to be kind of depressed because that was a very hard time for me, because so many people in my family had passed away. And I couldn't find anything positive to say about myself, to say about others. I couldn't even think that doing anything for any other people was positive, but in reality, doing something for another person is always positive. You can always do something to lessen another person's pain, and she made that very clear. So I'm going to go around the room, and I'm going to ask some of you what's something that you guys can do today to ease another one's pain. Very simple. Don't think too much about it. Just one thing that you can do to make someone else's day happier. Why don't we go down the line? What about you? What's one thing you can do to make someone else's day a little better? Perfect. Okay, next person down the line. What's something you could do?
Say hello.
Exactly. Okay, let's keep on going. Let's keep the ball rolling.
He took
It can be something as simple as just giving a smile, high five, fist bump.
waving him.
Waving, yes. Yes, compliments. Compliments are so key. Oh my gosh, everyone loves getting a good compliment. Yes, helping someone out by picking something up. Okay.
Like just talking to him or trying to get him to do something that you like play hockey or something.
Yeah, engage another person. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say start a conversation with them, make it, warm conversation.
Change always begins with a conversation.
Do a little dance to make them laugh.
Yes, laughter. That's a great one.
Compliment their clothes or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, you see something nice that someone's wearing? Yeah, say something. Thank you guys so much. You guys are a great group.
Thank you.
Out, 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 out,
Yeah,
out, keep going, out.
Thank you